What's wrong? I think I heard my phone. You dug your cell phone out and looked at it with a satisfied grin. There was a new message. Before you could read it, you were distracted by a small, amused noise from Cove. His head was slightly tilted to the side as he carefully looked at your old keychain. I can't believe you still have that. Oh hey, he notes the keychain that we have. Of course I do, I love it. You shouldn't be surprised. Well, someone was crazy enough to gift it for me, so I may as well use it. We grinned, looking at your keychain fondly. He laughed, remembering the day he bought it for you.
It's nice.
I'm glad you actually like it. He looked back at you with a playful grin. Especially since it cost me a whole $6. That's like $30 in kid money. His matter-of-fact tone had you laughing deep. It took several moments to compose yourself enough to speak. I didn't realize that was the going rate. It was then. Probably be more now. Thanks, inflation. So you're trying to say that you were a big spender? In kid money, yes, I was definitely a high roller, remember? Yeah, your dad has money, and he gave it to you all the time. That had you both bursting into fits. Smiling, you refocused on the task at hand. You opened the new text from Miranda, and all you saw was, I can see you. This whole time she's just watching this go on, right? They can see you, but you're having this whole conversation about the shark keychain. Immediately from where you stood, you started swiveling your head around. You couldn't spot Miranda anywhere, but she did send you more messages. Haha, it's the first time for cell phone garbage. I see you looking. Ah, come on. The message was sent and you were back to looking around, scanning for any sign of movement, familiar faces, but they were still invisible. Cove looked at you carefully, raising an eyebrow. So I know that Randy is a good way to shorten Miranda, but it's still weird to me. Stupid ice cream. Stupid jungle. Miranda, come out, you said it's ridiculous. You burst into laughter. You sent your own joking text. If you want to keep hiding, Cove and I can just go do our own stuff without you, is what you decided on. You smirked, hitting send on that message. Cove looked at you, curious, raising an eyebrow. What's happening? Before you could even begin explaining anything to Cove, you both snapped your attention to yelling from across the street. And then you saw Miranda and Terry come out from behind the backside of wall of the grocery store. They both started waving wildly to draw more attention to themselves. Cove took a step in their direction. Grinning, he put his hands around his mouth to better project his message across the street. Hey! Laughing and arm in arm, the girls stopped only to look both ways and then rushed across the empty street.
Hi.
Hope you weren't waiting too long. Yeah, you know, maybe I was wrong. No, I think it might just be the way she's dressed here. I don't know, her hips look... We'll compare when we get to step 4 when I think about it. I don't know, she looks curvier here than she does in step 4. But anybody else isn't going to know what I'm talking about. Anyway, here's Terry. Oh, hey, I didn't hear the hey buddies properly.
Hey, buddies.
I had to listen to the actual sound that Terry makes. Hey, buddies. Oh, Terry. Hi. That joke was not funny. I'm amazed. How'd you appear out of nowhere like that? Thought you both knew better than to jaywalk. Nah. They started giggling again. Terry glanced at Miranda, wondering what their story should be. Terry sure has a lot of hair. Although, I wonder if part of that isn't her natural hair now that I think about it. I don't know. I like Terry's outfit, though. Oh, Cove.
Ooh.
It was magic! Gesturing in vaguely whimsical manner, or Terry went along with the decision. And magicians never reveal their secrets, ooh. So originally when I saw Terry, I thought Terry was more, should have like one of those like British ladies or Australian type lady voices, but that's what she just strikes me as, but I get it. That's fair. Terry then closed the distance between her and Cove and crushed him in a painfully tight hug. You're finally here. It's been so long. What took you? He did his best to eke out a reply with his chest being compressed.
Sorry.
Eventually she let him go. Terry looked at him with a beaming smile, but Cove was distracted, rubbing his arms. Standing there, Miranda shifted her weight onto her other hip. She watched Cove patiently with a bashful smile. Welcome back. She has just adorable freckles and stuff, too. They're both great character designs. Thanks. Thanks. It finally felt official. Everyone was together in one place. From here, you weren't sure how often you'd have an afternoon like this again. They didn't either. You know, I can be as tired or worn down or whatever is the day. When I play this, I perk up immediately. It's just happy. So I didn't have like friends like this growing up. I had friends, but this seems like weird choice of friends, like to get forced on you if you're a certain certain character type, though. Like if you're like not a very social character type, it's really weird to have Terry and Miranda as friends. I'm just saying. Terry poked Cove square on the chest. You're gonna have to get me your schedule by this time yesterday.
No way.
Not really possible, Terry, but I can say as soon as I know. So far, work hasn't said anything, but I can tell you I'm busy with Orca activities. And Cove wasn't part of his part-time job or pursuing his athletic interests. He volunteered for the Ocean Restoration California Affiliation. Orca, that's what it stands for. I totally forgot. Yeah, pursuing his athletic interests. I like that. The group focused on cleaning up beaches and removing pollution from the ocean. Cove always loved the sea. It didn't surprise you one bit when you started getting involved with them. And... oh, I think she would have joined it too after learning of it. I don't think she would have been a member and introduced Cove to it. I think that sounds a little... that's a little high and mighty, isn't it? Marina's not that self-motivated. The big Smash event for the year is coming up, right, isn't it? Yeah. It's not much more to do before then, but I'm kind of looking forward to the fundraising push. Hopefully we can pull it off. If anyone can do it, it's you two. And even if it goes really bad, it'll still look good in a college application at least. I thought she was in Orca too, but maybe not. Oh, that's true.
Hey!
Guess what else? We don't have to stand here all day and stuff. Let's go! Let's go! It's probably more like, let's go! I would like a meal now. Perking up, Cove nodded in agreement. She's probably one of those ladies that goes like really deep on that, like, bet. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm hungry. Time to head out. So this is where I realized this today when Sarah was doing a moment. And actually, like, was talking about my character. Because now we're at the point where we're talking about each other's playthroughs, in our playthroughs, of course. And she referred to Marina as Miranda. And it hit me. Those names are too similar. I made a character who has a very similar name to one... To be fair, at the time, I don't think I knew... when I started this, I don't think I even knew this lady existed. Because I don't think I'd watched up to that point. But, I have a character who has a very similar name to one of her friends, so I'm probably going to get the dialogue boxes confused all the damn time, and it's going to be horrible for everybody involved. Yeah, I'm hungry. Time to head out. The four of you headed into town, happily chatting the whole way. The only decision left to make was where exactly to stop and eat. Miranda was the first to offer a suggestion.
So...
I don't know about everybody else, but I'd like some chow mein. Chinese is fine with me. Entirely serious, Terry nodded. That'd be amazing right about now. Yeah, I can always agree there. Agreed. You nodded your approval. That wouldn't have been your choice, but it was already 3 against 1. Yeah, I can always agree there. The group's lazy wandering shifted into a purposeful journey just like that. As Terry predicted, the conversation was able to continue while on the way to food. So the thing is, you and Cove finished explaining what was coming up with your Orca fundraising efforts. All that talk of beaches reminded Terry of her own personal goals. She'd been considering getting lifeguarding training. Hey, there we go. But, yeah, Terry's probably a good swimmer and all that. There's only 2 restaurants in the town, right? So we have to pick one of them. Either this or the weird, like, Polynesian place. Terry and Miranda can keep... oh boy. Cove and Marina can keep our ocean clean, and I can keep it safe. So she just says Cove can keep it clean if you're not in it. Such selflessness was inspiring for the listeners, though Terry butted in before anyone else was too impressed.
No way.
Don't be too proud of me yet. I haven't even signed up. Laughter burst out in the low crowd. Miranda took a turn to chat about her life next. She picked out some 5-week summer courses at the community college. They wouldn't be starting until later in the month. It was exciting, though. Not content speaking solely for herself long, Miranda mentioned good news for someone else. She, apparently likes school a lot. That's interesting. Specifically that her older brother Jude had a new boyfriend. Oh, you know, I forgot about that. Jude is kind of like a half character in this game. I'm almost wondering if Jude shows up in another R-Life or an XOXO Droplets. I don't know. You vaguely knew who Jude was. But even though you'd been friendly with Miranda for 5 years, he was already in out-of-state college back then. He's, got a voice actor, so, I don't know. Not a portrait, though. He was in his mid-20s, you were pretty sure of that. What you knew for certain is he had his own place with a real career and everything. Jude existed in a whole other stage of life than you, and hanging out with his much littler sister's friends had never been his to-do list. I never had friends with, like, an older sibling, so I don't know how this is. Oh, wait, my scroll wheel works now. What? What the heck? Oh, wait. It usually didn't work. Now that was an accomplishment. Yeah. Now that was an accomplishment worth being taken by Terry, who heard it, and Miranda, who said it, was equally dazed. He hasn't been single for a few years now. It seemed like he just kind of wasn't interested in anybody, and that was true, basically. There wasn't anyone for him. He's dating a friend he's known online for a long time. They've been playing games together since college. Boy, imagine dating people that you play online games with. Who would do that? This is my theory, but he might not have dated anyone else because all he wanted to do was to hang out more with that good friend. But no one ever say but no one ever say that to him. I'm sure no one ever say that to him. He never even hinted there might be a thing until one day they were suddenly dating. Besides that, what's funny is I don't even know his name. Jude didn't talk about him to us until they'd already known each other forever. And now that Jude has started talking about him all the time, he just calls him Grant. Huh? Is his name not Grant? It's not. It's an inside joke about how they talked about the school Grants one time when they were first becoming friends. They thought it was funny how Grant was also a name, and we're going on, oh, I bet Grant could get a grant. And then escalated to joking about a grant being named after some person called Grant. That's dumb. His friend made Grant his username for everything, and it still is today. I mean, I guess, but who jokes about school grants? See, Terry knows. That face says it all. This isn't very funny. You barely had a concept of Miranda's brother, and that one explanation was everything you knew about his boyfriend, but the story gave a real impression of who they were. Yeah, this is fair. But who thinks it's funny to talk about school grants? That's not funny. That's weird, like adult stuff. You don't focus on that, especially if you play video. I don't know. Wow. Godspeed, Judy. Never let Grant go. That's nice. I bet they're really happy. Yeah, I wish the two of them well, as well. Do you think we'll ever know his actual name? It's so sweet. Well, I'm glad it's working out with them. I support you, Jude and Grant. You humdinger. Well, I'm glad it's working out with them.
Thank you.
Trying to follow the incredible story of Grant proved difficult. Miranda trailed off. The current conversation was well and truly over, so Cove took a chance to speak. This has been on my mind the whole time, but there was never a good chance to mention it before. Oh, what is it? There's a new person renting a condo in our neighborhood. Really? From one tale of an unusual character to another, Cove spoke of Baxter Ward as if he were a local legend. He is. His name is Baxter. He's in college, though he doesn't look much like he's much older than us. Maybe Miranda's age? He's not going to be what you'd expect, no matter how much you try to guess. Oh, that's right, she's a little older than us because she's born in the summer. She's technically like a half a year older than most of us. I forgot about that. Because she's born in this, yeah, her birthday's in the summer, we went to her birthday party. So, I'm just eating my ice cream while I'm musing here. Yeah, so, Baxter, I think Baxter is more than a year older, though. I think he's 20. No, he's not quite Lizzie's age. No, he's 19. Don't think he's a summer birthday, though. His name's Baxter. He's not gonna be what you expect, no matter how much you try to guess. The description put Terry on the edge of a non-existent seat, and she was about to fall off it somehow.
What?
A new man in town? Who's our age? Cove Holden has been holding out on us as usual. I won't guess, you tell me what he's like. Monochrome. He's eccentric. You know, a weird guy who's probably rich. Way too forward. He's nice, at least he tries to be as hard to... Way too forward. Definitely. He added to your own initial description with a couple of thoughts of his own. More explanation was required to make any sense of it.
I mean...
Baxter is, bold. He says whatever he wants and he dresses dramatically. Everything on him is black and white, even his hair. Huh. Cove had been correct. That kind of man had not been considered in the realm of possibilities for Terry or Miranda. But I don't care that he has a style or that he's not shy. What I don't get is why he acts so impressed by strangers who have done nothing. Yeah. Because to Baxter, we are an oddity to be studied and watched. He's here to observe the poor. That is his whole thing. He's here to see what the common people live like. I'm pretty sure. That's what Baxter's... This is a vacation for him, and he's merely a tourist observing our world. He said he wanted to hang out with us, me and Marina, this summer, and all the other stuff, and that was the very first time we'd met. No, he wants to hang out with me, Cove. You're just kind of there. I have no idea why he cares, or why it was so easy for him to say that to people he knows nothing about. So you get his number?
No.
Wow, that was very forceful and angry, Cove. Jeez. Cove's eyes squinted, and his nostrils squished inward from the incredulous scrunch that suggestion had given him. Considering the picture that had been painted, he couldn't understand why Terry would imagine anything like that happened. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with fond level for Baxter, just because I don't want the off chance that wouldn't include him in certain moments that I want to include him in. Even if Miranda or Marina probably doesn't feel that way, I'm still gonna pick all the options where she doesn't like Baxter very much, but yeah, see, I'm already doing it. Me neither. Your tone had questioning band as you tried to gauge how serious she was. Terry could... Wait, what? He couldn't understand why Terry would imagine anything like that had happened. Oh, me neither of the number. Your tone had questioning band as you tried to gauge how serious she was. Terry could have some wild ideas sometimes. You should have! You don't meet a social butterfly like that every day. The black and white color scheme proves he's a rare specimen.
Ooh.
This Baxter is flapping around the town, coming to appreciate our two good buds. Cove and Marina, right? Like flower buds, and he's a butterfly? Terry, that pun is such a stretch. Well, he sounds like my kind of guy, and we could always use more friends. I'm not so sure about that one. It's as shaky as your bud metaphor. This was escalating. The more fired up Terry got, the more Cove and Miranda wanted to shield themselves from the embers. I know what you mean, Terry. You shook your head at where this was going. The whole conversation had you snickering. You shook your head at where this was going. No longer moving forward, Terry stood up with her hands on her hips as a single true extrovert of the group. I'm an extrovert. Marina is an extrovert, but not with Baxter Ward.
I'm on it.
I'm gonna meet Baxter right now. Okay, no, she does have that.
I'm on it.
She does have like that. So I know who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Garnet from Steven Universe. That's the voice I pictured her having. You know, sort of Garnet, sort of like this the whole time, because she's Estelle and stuff, you know. But it's kind of like that a little bit. I'm gonna meet Baxter right now. Cole completely stalled except for his lips, which sputtered a response. What about getting food? Another way. You can all go ahead. I'll be back before the food hits the table. You'll see it. Terry's light chuckle contrasted massively with a hefty sigh from Cove. You're actually going to a stranger's house and ask for his number. That's the plan. Yeah. Why do you gotta be like this? If I wasn't like this, me and you never would have been friends ourselves. And I probably wouldn't have been friends with Randy either. I don't know about that. I don't live in this town. I can't miss an opportunity to connect. Oh, you don't live in this town? Did she go to a different school? I thought she went to the same school as Randy, which is our school. Otherwise, that'd mean leaving it up to chance, or fate, or Cove's ability to have relationships, progress of his own. I don't have a year for that. He'll be gone before then. Because we're not dating Cove. Cove can't get a date, and she's making fun of him for it. Wow. Or maybe she's making fun of Cove for not trying to get with me. I don't know. Or Marina.
We're cool.
Not to insult you for going slow, Cove. You're good the way you are. Baxter can be a butterfly and you can be a snail. There was affection in Terry's extended metaphor, but Cove still frowned at the almost certainly correct assessment of how his connection with Baxter was going to develop. Or maybe she just means, like, human relationships and not relationships. I don't like snails. How about being a sea turtle then? Terry, you're not helping. I like snails and I like you. You shouldn't talk about it. Excuse me? Snails are great. Hey, oh, that's right! This character can be really obsessed with snails. How about being a sea turtle then? Okay, I'm a turtle. Good, you can accept that. Order me the General Tso's chicken. I'll get his number. That's what I always get, Terry. That's pretty much my go-to at any Chinese restaurant. I have to try it at different places to see if it's any good. I also like Kung Pao chicken quite a bit, though, too. But General Tso is my go-to. I used to think it's called General Tao, but I think it's General Tso. Anyway. Inspired by the name... I usually just call it the General's chicken, because I don't want to insult people. Inspired by the name of her meal, or perhaps her meal was inspired by the sudden mission. Terry gave a military salute before flipping her on. Miranda and Cove simply watched in disbelief. I used to say any day you can eat the General's chicken is a good day. I don't really feel that way as much anymore. I'm not as obsessed with it as I used to be. Also, it depends on where you get it from. But it is my favorite Chinese food. So Terry can't be all that bad, right? Hold on, I'll go with you. No. No. We're not going with her about to see Baxter. Screw Baxter. You're making a mistake, leaving your order with us. Protect me, Randy. Cove won't stand up to them. Hey. With those parting words, Terry vanished down a bend in the street. The 3 people left in her wake had no other choice but to regroup. Let's hurry. She said she'd be back before the food arrived. We don't need to make it that easy on her. Mischievousness replaced bemusement as 75% of the usual crew finished a short walk to the restaurant. Here we are in Chinese restaurant. Have we been? I don't think we haven't been to Chinese restaurant before. This looks very Chinese. I must say, of all the things they've done in this game, this captures the epitome of a standard American Chinese restaurant in like a strip mall. Better than anything I've ever seen. I don't know why they have a picture of a flan though. Like, why would they serve a flan at a Chinese restaurant? And I don't know why they'd have pictures like this on the wall of the food. They usually don't. This looks like that one boardwalk here, except instead of buildings, there's trees. But it looks very American Chinese restaurant. Also, what with the books? I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't busy and you were seated immediately. A waiter came by with the menus. You'd all been there many times before and didn't need to look at decide what to get. The booths look uncomfortable and the chairs look cheap, and I love it. I've spent many a meal of my life in places such as this. There was a really good one when I was in college I used to go to all the time. I haven't been to a good one like this in a long time, though. I really should look for one. Yeah, you know what? I need to find something like this around here. I know where there's a nice, fancier Chinese restaurant, but I need to find something like this. These are the places. These are like the little like strip mall, mom and pop shop Chinese places that are just like really good. He was happy to take the order then. Before anything else, Miranda got the appropriate meal for Terry. There was no choice to accidentally order nothing but side salad with extra dressing or something. She was safe for another day. I would have done that. Marina totally would have done that. That's great. Side salad. Although I will say side salad sounds really good, but no extra dressing. I can't do salad dressing. She then followed through with the original plan that brought you all there and requested a chow mein for herself. Yeah, like, I wouldn't eat salad at a Chinese place, though. I'd probably also getting the General's chicken. Cove got beef and broccoli. When the server's attention came to you, he said, "Oh, man, I can do that! I forgot you actually do get to order, so let's see. It is an option, but this is not me, this is Marina. What does Marina like?" I'm reminded of when the Scooby and Shaggy Scooby-Doo first episode. Xiao Mein, Xiao Yuk, Soy Young, Mugu Gai Pan. Oh man, there's like they make a sandwich with all the different stuff. I don't know what some of these things are because I've never really been to things. I think she would like Szechuan beef though. That sounds very Marina to me. I would also get orange chicken or sweet and sour pork personally, but I think Marina is very Szechuan beef. Got it. Anything else? Deliberations were made. The conclusion was yes. Spring rolls would be gotten to share. Your table was also getting 4 waters. Hey, the waiter jotted it all down and excused himself to get the order.
So
the question is, did they get the waters because they're they don't have a lot of money and it's cheaper than buying a soda, or just because water's healthier for them? Probably I would go with the former. Well, here we are, sort of. We didn't make it exactly in one piece. He offered the joke to head off in awkward silence. Unfortunately, his delivery was equally uncomfortable. Miranda gave him a little smile anyway. Before people had run away from that house... Before people... Oh, this is me. Before... What? I said Miranda said something. But, okay. Before people had run away from that house, now there's somebody running right to it. How times have changed. Wait, does Terry know which condo it is?
Maybe.
She'll figure it out. The waiter arrived and the water arrived and Terry wasn't there. When a plate of spring rolls with a side of dipping sauce was placed on the table, his seat remained empty. Terry vowed to make it back before food arrived, though ordering an appetizer was cheating. She meant the main course. No one declared her a loss yet. The food is truly in front of the front three of you. A savory steam lifted from the rolls in a curling motion like an encouraging wave. Hello, Marina. Hello. Curling wave, hello. Miranda placed her hands in her lap, rejecting the greeting. See, it's happening. I hate it. It's happening. I want to wait for Terry before starting, but you two can eat yours. She won't care. I love her little cocky smile. I didn't pay that much attention to her in Sorrow's playthrough, but she's very expressive. Cove hummed and hawed with squinted eyes before ultimately saying, Yeah, I'm gonna eat mine. It's Cove. That was expected, but it was impressive he at least took a second to consider waiting. I'm gonna eat mine too. I don't want one. He picked a plump-looking spring roll off the plate. He sat there patiently. We could eat all of them now, and she'd never know they were here, he joked. Oh, man, yes. She'll see it on the split bill, but it would be funny. Well, it'd be too late to stop us then. No, I'll get a second order and a third and as many as I have to, till Terry gets one. I know you can eat a lot, but it'll all be on the shared bill. Yumiko's burgeoning scheme was foiled. You couldn't afford it. How does one split a bill? I thought you would just like get separate checks for your own orders if you really wanted to do that.
Alright.
Yeah, fine. I'm eating mine too. Oh wow, that didn't resolve that. That was just an extra dialogue option. I'm eating mine too.
Cool.
He plucked a plump-looking spring roll off the plate. It was going to be delicious. Cole selected his morsel indiscriminately, taking the one that was closest to his side of the table. Half of it disappeared after a single bite. This man's is a vacuum cleaner. Not surprisingly, at his pace, Cole finished munching on a spring roll before Terry appeared. So did you, and it was in fact very tasty. Miranda's gaze drifted towards the door. She resisted watching for Terry until then, but she had to focus on something other than the tantalizing spring roll. She thought aloud, slumping lower in her chair and stretching out one strand of curled hair. I wonder what he's gonna think when a stranger shows up at his door asking for his number. When she put it like that, it amazingly sounded like a bad idea. Somehow you knew it wouldn't go as poorly as it probably should. Cove understood it too. I don't know Baxter, but from one conversation I'd guess he'd like the attention. It might even make his day.
I'm not sure.
Randy's well-wish had suddenly granted when the topic of the discussion strode into the restaurant. I mean, here's the thing. Baxter is just interested in observing and having fun, like, poor people adventures. He's not interested in, like, getting to know people. I made it. Terry, hi! You got us. Nice job. Seeing Terry arrive with an undefeated spirit east the line of Cove's mouth. It was all okay, and that meant he could already joke about it. You barely made it, you know. We ordered a while ago, and this appetizer is already here. So I feel like Cove is... Marina's gremlin energy is rubbed off on Cove at this playthrough, and I love it. We're both, like, the same person, somewhat. We almost ate yours. Close, but making it is making it. Did my good friends get what I requested? Baxter's own way of speaking had apparently come along with Terry.
Yep.
Got it. General Tso's chicken. Ah, yes, thank you. The last seat was finally filled as Terry plopped down, satisfied after a job well done. So, did you actually see him and get his number? Why even ask? I wouldn't be here if I didn't. If any of you want to get in touch with Baxter, you can come to me. I'll text him for you.
Huh.
Wow. Which is how we include Baxter in a lot of the moments in this game, if we want to include him. Which we will, because we have to, because it's more fun if we do. Because I do like, I want to see the interactions with Baxter. I don't want to not include him, because it would be weird. I wonder if she doesn't do this if you don't want to include Baxter. Could you ask Baxter if I have his number too? Tell him what his number is. Terry certainly shouldn't be underestimated. You had no clue why she'd do something like that. Terry certainly shouldn't be underestimated. She wouldn't care about wanting Baxter's number. Baxter will be cool with any of you reaching him through me. He's a chill guy.
Really?
You think so? I know so. I just showed up at his house and he gave me his number. We should hang sometime. Ha ha ha! There's a moment called hang where you hang with Baxter. Well, you don't have to, but you can. Cove and Randy exchanged uneasy looks. The Baxter saga wasn't over. Yes, the Baxter saga wasn't over is true as one way of putting step 3. As far as Terry was concerned, it might only be getting started. The group had settled into its usual rhythm when your proper meals arrived a few minutes later. You ate and talked, and not once did the topic return to that element of the unknown, Baxter Ward. But he remained stuck in a corner of your mind. After many seasons of Sleepy Town, you had expectations of what the summer of 2016 would look like. It had all been too easy to imagine. Oh, I've been 5 years off. It was 2011 before, now it's only 2016. Okay, it makes more sense if people don't have cell phones until now. It's 2021 in the future one, then. And step 4. I'm back. This is still... They're still a lot younger than me. I was like far into my adulthood by then. I was turning 30 that year. That's crazy. Sure, you'd graduated high school, your life wasn't going to be the same anymore, but it was too soon for that to warp the existence you had known for over a decade. At least you thought so. At least you thought so. I'm probably almost as old as Cliff Holden. Well, no, he's in his late 30s, never mind. Maybe, yeah, anyway. And yet there was Baxter. He was something you'd not counted on a single one of your vacation plans. You couldn't have until barely an hour ago. Now, he might be. His number was on Terry's phone. A new world, one you had no grasp on, was already poking its way into your old routine, and it had come from the form of a black and white ballroom dancer. He was a sign that put your situation in stark view. You were going to appreciate this crucial moment in time. You wouldn't let the final days of familiar comfort slip by without notice. The rest of the afternoon and evening passed by in the blink of an eye. When night fell, it was time to head home, and you parted ways with Miranda and Terry. So we spent all day hanging out somehow, I guess. You and Cove reached your neighborhood without a van. It was late enough that your out-of-the-way street was dark and silent. You were walking tiredly after such a long day. You strolled to skip your step, you ambled along. Cove was giving you a piggyback ride home. They love this. You ambled along, I think. With every step, you knew that your fate was being sealed. Your feet were going to be sore well into tomorrow. It was taking a lot of mental focus to keep up and walk alongside Cove. As you peered at his face out of the corner of your eyes, you wondered why he felt so distant to you. Marina is more of a morning person, I think we established. Like a get up and go in the morning type person, as, and face the day. And then she would get tired a little earlier, especially later as she's getting to be an adult. She's not like a stay up all night kind of person. She probably was never that. It was out of character. For a while, Cove silently stared ahead and left you alone with your own thoughts. It surprised you when you did hear his voice all of a sudden. He wouldn't look at you. He still wouldn't look at you. It feels weird coming back to the neighborhood and trying to get into things like they're still the same, and they're not. They've changed. They're still changing. Your mouth felt uncomfortably dry all of a sudden. It was true. The things that kept the people you knew together were starting to disappear. Each person had to make their own priorities and their own path now that wasn't set for them. Oh, geez, there's this too. Oh well, we'll keep going. You thought about your own immediate future. So, I have that separate little video that the 20-minute part you've seen with Baxter by now. Probably because I've decided to make that a separate part. So what happened there was I accidentally hit the stop record button. And I thought that I was, and then I decided to stop recording for the time anyway. And I was just going to meld it into this one. But I didn't. I mean, I probably can't now, because if I did, it would be over an hour at this point. So I'm going to probably make that... That's going to have been its own separate video. And this prologue is going to have been 4 parts. But I'm going to finish this in this video. You thought about your own immediate future. You'd been considering more and more, and ideas were starting to settle in your mind. You'd hoped... Okay. So... This is Marina. Marina has a dream. I've got a dream. I've got a dream. And you probably don't know what that dream is. But Marina is probably going to work part-time, I think. She's not interested in school any further than that. Marina was never good at school, in case you didn't remember. So let's see, though. This might be more what we do. Let's see. If we pick this. Focus on time that's not school or work. Oh, and to work part-time. Okay, we can do both. And that was the basics. For your career, you thought you'd find a company to work at, work online, do contract work, start your own business. They make this sound so easy, like you can just do that. So let's actually, let's go back a second, because I want to see if I can get the correct response here. For yourself, you wanted to work on self-improvement. Does that... Okay, it really... Okay, so it just picks all of these. Yeah, no, I think she would have a part-time job because the whole point is she wants to save money up. So where I'm going with this is what Marina wants to do is be one of those people that takes a backpacking trip to Europe. She wants to travel and see lots of stuff before she figures the rest of her life out. She wants to go and see other parts of the country, other parts of the world. She's not really wanting to stay rooted in Sunset Bird. So she wouldn't want something like a full-time job or a school thing. She'd have a part-time job so she could save up money to go on her trip. That's what we're going for here. I was kind of hoping there was an option for that. I thought for some reason when you picked the do stuff for yourself, there was an option to talk about what you did for like fun or what you were going to do at the time, but it doesn't seem to be. So let's work part-time, and that was the basics. And then for your career, you thought you would... she'd find a company to work at. She's just going to do stuff like work at a diner or something like that. It's not going to be like, you know... Yeah, this is ridiculous, right? We joked about, like, having the diving, taking... She would seriously help out at their store if she was allowed to do that, but she's not going to do that, right? Work online seems this... I don't know. I don't know what they mean by this. What, as, like, a new I don't know. Anyway... You can do all these things, but no, and that was all. For yourself, you wanted to try to figure out what you really want. Yeah, this is the whole point. She's going to do the soul searching, right? She's going to go on this whole, like, trip. She's going to work on self-improvement and try to figure out what she really wants, and that was all. And then for that, you wanted to... Aha! Go abroad. Travel around to different... Okay, it is an option. It is absolutely an option, because this is her. She wants to travel around to different places. It'll all be happening so soon. You'd already applied to jobs. You already made plans for a trip. You started to prepare for what was coming. You'd already applied to jobs. I don't think she would have planned the trip yet. The whole point is she's saving up the money by... That was the whole thing earlier, too, right? I mentioned this earlier, that Marina saves her money. She doesn't buy stuff and stupid stuff because she's always had this dream of wanting to travel and go places, and she realizes that takes money. I hinted at this earlier in the game by picking certain options that were kind of, like, related to wanting to go other places, like she really liked going to the Redwood National Forest, for instance, and seeing that. She got inspired by these things as a kid by taking these trips with her family or talking to people from other places and stuff. So she wants to go. You'd already applied to jobs, and you've been open about your situation to everyone you knew. You'd only spoken with this family. You kept all this to yourself. No. You think you'd been open to this situation with everyone you knew, and everyone knew. Absolutely, she would have talked to everybody. Now you wonder what Cove had in mind. You heard him consider some things for his future, but it was never anything that would have counted as a real plan. Yeah, surprise, surprise, Marina actually has a plan for her future. Imagine. It's not very, like, productive member of society. Imagine that. But this is exactly what I've had in mind for Marina since the beginning. I've been waiting for this. This whole prologue is amazing. I've been waiting for it. You'd heard him consider some things for his future, but it was never anything you would have considered as a real plan. Making it back home, you both stopped in the middle of the street. Cove sighed. Cove looked at the ground for a moment. His mouth trembled, trying to settle on the right words to say. Wait, why would we have already had to apply for jobs? We already have a part-time job. We already said that. You know what? I might have to go back and change that, because we already said we had a part-time job. Like, we're already working somewhere part-time. Like, earlier in the thing. We already, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm not saying that she's gonna working is a big part of her life. She wants to travel. She's working somewhere for a little while to save up money, and then she's gonna go. Maybe I should have just went with just the travel thing. Should we just do that? Should we go back to just the travel thing? I almost feel like it. No, we'll keep it. We'll keep what we got. Honestly, I don't think it matters much in the long run of the game, unfortunately. It's fun to come up with these things and make your character, but I don't think anybody's ever going to comment on it or care, so let's just do this. Cove looked at the ground for a moment. His mouth trembled, trying to settle on the right words to say. So, are you still thinking about what you want to do and all that stuff? What you want to do and stuff while traveling? Yeah, you remembered. Cove closed his eyes and nodded while he composed his thoughts. He looked at you while he lifted his head.
I mean...
I decided on something. Well, kind of. He smiled slightly and rubbed his arm, and then his expression grew more serious. Basically the not wanting to grow up, right? She wants to go find herself, travel, see all these places, and then she'll come back and figure out what she wants to do in, say, maybe 5 years or so. Hint, hint. I'm not going to decide on a school or career. Not this summer. I'm going to stay here. At least in Sunset Bird. I'll probably move out of my dad's place. I'll keep working my job, doing my volunteer stuff, and everything else.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll know what I want for myself by fall or next year, or maybe I'll never have a plan. Life will continue on with whatever's happening. Yeah, Cove doesn't have an idea. That's interesting. I feel like in Sorrow's game he did. I'm not gonna crush myself trying to have everything figured out by a timeline that someone else has said. I just can't do it. I know that's not very exciting, but it's the best I could do right now. No, that's exactly what Marina is doing. She's doing her own thing, man. No one else's timeline. He laughed self-derisively, but the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. So, it's actually kind of cool that he mentioned the travel thing instead of the work thing, because she's just doing the job first to get money, right? That's the point. You smiled. Your plan sounds very you. I'll miss you. I wanted you to come with me. Holy shit, you could say that. You could ask Cove to come with you. Okay. No, but she wouldn't, because this is about soul searching. Your plan sounds very you. Your head tilted affectionately ever so slightly to the side, and you watched him process your response. Cove was going to continue doing things his own way and in his own time. He exhaled, releasing some tension in his shoulders, and so was Marina. Thanks for hearing me out on this. You know well enough to know that Cove wasn't feeling completely better about the way things were. No matter what's happening, I want you to know that you won't ever lose me. I won't really be gone. I'll still be there for you the best I can, whether it's long distance or whatever else. Yeah, the thing is, she's leaving. At the end of the summer, well, maybe not the end of this year, but maybe within a year or so, Marina plans on leaving. And going. Maybe we... Oh, no. Maybe I do need to go back and make it... I'm sorry. At least I've got this.
I don't...
Sorry.
I mean...
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to do this. I'm that person. We're not gonna work. We're gonna say we already, after this summer. Self-improvement, figure out what you truly want, and that was all. And do that you want to travel around different places. It was all happening so soon. You'd already made plans for the trip. And you would open your situation, whatever. Oh, hang on. Now you wonder what Cove had in mind. You heard considering, yeah, 7 most three Cove signs. Everything you want. So you see when we were traveling? Yeah, you remembered.
I mean...
Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be pretty much the same. He's gonna say the same stuff here. You smiled. The plan sounds very you. Okay, sorry about that. I changed my mind on this. I felt like she'd probably it's more dramatic if she's leaving at the end of the summer. And there might actually be something that plays in with that more, with the story. The moms might have something to say about that, and that might be kind of cool. But that's her plan. She wants to leave. She wants to get out of this town that she grew up in because it's too small, and she wants to see. Maybe not because it's too small. She loves it here, and the game's gonna force me to love it here, whether I love it here or not. But she wants to see the world beyond Sunset Bird. Anyway, I'm talking a lot and making this moment go on forever, and this is gonna be a long video, and I'm gonna be late for VC. You knew him well enough to know Cove wasn't feeling completely better about the way things were. Remember what's happening? I just want you to know you won't ever really be gone. I'll be there best I can, whether it's long distance or whatever else. Cove's whole expression softened. His lips pulled into an affectionate smile.
It's okay.
Marina, you deserve to have everything you want in life. He laughed at his bold declaration. Thank you, Cove. I want you to get everything you want in life. He didn't know how to respond to that. You teared up your wonderfully. I want you to get everything you want in life. That flew out of your mouth immediately, but you meant every word. His mouth pulled into a delicate grin. Looking at you fondly, Cove took a step closer, and he placed a hand on your shoulder. The warmth from his proximity helped relax you. He spoke to you softly, wholeheartedly. He meant every word. Romance! Things are hard right now. It scares me, but it'll be okay. It'll be more than okay. Now that things are up to us, we can make our lives better than they ever were. So, like, it's fun being the sure one when Cove is not. You believed him. You appreciated his intent to put on a brave face. You still felt unsure. You felt better after his reassurance. I mean, she feels fine. Marina's not worried at all. She's excited about the future. You believed him. No matter how hard daunting the future could be, he was right. You would be okay. Deeply met Cove's gaze. She nodded. She's not worried. She's gonna be fine. At that, his expression morphed into a look of care. Oh, I keep saying she, but it's they. They're gonna be fine. At this expression morphed into a look of careful confidence. Clearly, he was still struggling with this topic, and you wonder what else might be on his mind. This was a start, I think, but it's not over yet, is it? We'll have to keep talking about it going forward. Yeah. Cove softly reiterated his promise. It'll all be okay. We'll still be there for each other. Is that good with you? It is. It's gonna be hard. It is. I suppose she would find it. Oh no, my stupid sound is going out. Don't be like that. She would be concerned about losing her best friend. She's already lost Derek, pretty much. Derek's pretty much worked his way out of her life. Cool. That's cool. I'll see you tomorrow, Marina. This could be their last summer together ever. I guess that's really something to think about. Like, she's got to say goodbye to him and Miranda and Terry and Liz and, like, her moms and stuff and the Holdens. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. It's not nothing she just wants to do. I'm already looking forward to it. Night. So that's the big, like, drama for this whole arc. This whole step is... Step 3 is the worries about the future, right? He pulled you in an unexpected hug. It knocked the breath out of you, yet it couldn't have been a more reassuring feeling. You returned his embrace and stayed that way as long as you could. So she's going to work a bunch this summer, and then go.
Good night.
He finally let go, giving you another smile. Then Cove started walking away, but you remained there, frozen in the middle of the street. You watched him and wondered how many more times would he be able to say that. He'll see you tomorrow. You hoped countless more times. Finally, you returned toward your own house. You vowed to yourself that you would make the most out of every moment you had this summer. And we're going to make the most out of every moment we have this summer. And here they are. Every moment we have this summer. Plus a bunch of Baxter. So this is the Baxter thing. So here's the thing. We're going to only do one of these moments. We're going to do this one. Because this one gets strapped onto this one. So if we do all 10 of these, we end up doing that one. But I'm not doing these because they're long and tedious, and these two are straight up dates with Baxter. This one kind of is too, but it feels like less romantic because you just go to you go to a bowling alley. This one is actually about Miranda and Terry more, like, than it is about Baxter. But it's still a thing. It's super long. The only one we're going to include Baxter, but some of these other moments will involve Baxter Ward, and they'll also involve our other friends. I have favorite ones. I'm excited for boating. I'm excited for Drive. I'm excited for Charity a lot. I'm not excited for this or this is kind of boring. This is kind of boring. I don't remember what Reflection was. This will be interesting because I'm going to have a completely different version than the one I saw in Sorrows. And Happiness is... I'm really curious what Happiness is going to be, but we're going to save it for the end. So 10 more moments, 10 more videos, and then summer ended. We'll see you next time for more of Step 3 of Our Life, Beginnings and Always.